Hi, this is Isabel Letzler. Welcome to my channel. So following the last video that I've done about applicant tracking system, and again, because most expats don't really tick the boxes, I thought I'd make a video on the other things that you can do to increase your chances of entering the Swiss market and getting a job in Switzerland. So what you have to know is that most of the opportunities and the better opportunities are actually in the hidden market, meaning that only people who are made aware of these opportunities get to know what's going on and get to apply. So if you're not in those hubs, in those circles, you don't hear about the positions. It's probably the case in your country or maybe in other places where you worked before, where most of the jobs get filled via the network and via people you know. So really the techniques that you can use, or the other job search techniques that you need to develop, is number one, you network. You need to learn this skill to network. It's going to serve you in your life, in your career, because it's for everything, not just for job search. It's you want to know people who can tell you about the best places to go on holidays, or you want to network to get a better rate on something, through people that you know, etc. So it's for life. It's a skill. It's a life skill. It's a skill that we don't necessarily learn in school, unfortunately, but it's a skill that will get you a long way, can really serve you throughout your life and career. And this is really how people get the best jobs, is because at some point, they got trained to do a career, to do something, and they also met someone who was actually able to place them in a position where they were actually able maybe to transfer countries or to get a promotion. So if you want to get that chance to come to Switzerland and to fulfill your career in Switzerland, you need to start to get to know people. And I've made other videos and I will link at the end, how to network online, for example, and I gave some tips on what to say, etc. I've done a whole video on that. Really start your online networking skill. Even though now there's not a lot of events going on, you can still be quite active by identifying key people in your sector in Switzerland, to get to know them via online. And now you have a lot of people offering webinars and training online. So there's lots of ways where you can enter in contact with people of reference in your field, whether it be finance or HR, what have you. At some point there will be some key people in Switzerland that you can contact and start to contact them personally, so that they know who you are and they've identified your skill. You may even be asked to do maybe a presentation or do a conference, for free maybe, but that's a way for you to start being seen in Switzerland. So really developing your network is going to get you a long way, as opposed to trying to keep sending the same application online. The second skill that you can use as a job seeker is research skills. So find out by looking online, where do you stand in terms of your skill sets. Again, if you're not in a high demand profession, probably not many people will be needing you in Switzerland. So if you increase your chances to live in a country, you want to have a skill that's in demand and you want to research that. So look at companies online, search for names of companies, see what type of work they do, is it something that you know how to do. And there's lots of also creative ways now where you can be of service, to a profession, to a company, so that's why I called my group Careerpreneur Online, because you have to become an entrepreneur of your career. You have to be that person who understands, what are the needs, not only the needs of now, but the needs in the next years, the jobs of tomorrow, I call that. And the closer you can work on that, you can understand the needs, the closer you can find a little niche for yourself, where you can grow in that niche. So I keep repeating here, anything around digital, anything around tech, those are the jobs of tomorrow. And to try to tell people, upskill yourself there, because if you don't, then you're not going to be as relevant. So you're not going to find any jobs online, and using the networking skill or the research skill is not really going to help you, because it's a dry market. So do the research now on what are the jobs that are hiring, what type of skills are needed, and try to find get in touch really with the companies without going through the job boards. Try to follow companies already, read articles, comment on the articles. So looking for a job is not necessarily a 1 day, 1 month type of thing. You know, you want to start now for maybe within the next couple of years. It's something that you build up. So you do your research now, you start getting information, and at some point you'll see if you're a good match for the Swiss market or not. So migrating to a country, you know, wanting a job in a country, it should be a long-term project. If you want to be successful, you need to come with resources. I tell that to people. I know you're in a hurry to maybe move on your project, but if you want to be successful in a project, it's going to be something that takes time. Between the time you research the companies, you understand the market, what the market wants. Maybe you take a training because you're missing those skills that are in demand. And at some point, you know, maybe you get to talk to some people and you start getting interviews. We're talking about months and months that go by before that happens. So you just have to be patient and be willing to invest. And if you don't have any money right now to invest, start working on that as number one, you know. So that leads me to my point number 3 is the job search skill that you need to build is start investing right now in what you have. So if you have a job right now, maybe you don't love it, but it brings you income, start building your income so that you have a little bit of breathing space to make your project happen. And then you have a little bit of time to do the other activities of researching and building your network and coming to Switzerland to visit, because that's how you're going to get a job, is by being out there and connecting with individuals, checking things out, going to conferences, etc. But you don't want to be in a stress mode. Otherwise, you're not going to sell yourself properly. So build income right now. Build income in an easy way that you know how to do in your country, where there's no complexity of passport and visas and all those things. You don't want to deal with all these things if you need a job right now. You need to have a little bit of income first and resources first before you can really project anything into a market that's such a complex and a competitive market like Switzerland. You need to come with resources. That will be the keyword of this video, is in terms of other techniques to use besides trying to get a job online, is if you want to use the other techniques of getting yourself out there and building up your profile and becoming magnetic, as I like to say, you will have to put a little bit of skin in the game. So people who have been successful in Switzerland is because they've invested. Maybe they came as students and then they got an internship which led them to a full-time job, or maybe, you know, they came for holidays and they stayed and they, you know, really met a lot of people and, you know, started to network. Maybe they took my course and they've done the research, they actually activated more networking. So that's it, you know, opportunities come to those who give, is what I have in my Careerpreneur group. So if you want a job, you need to put some skin in the game. You need to start investing, start offering something of value to Switzerland so that you're part of the people who have this chance, this opportunity of developing their career in Switzerland. So this is the end of this video. I hope it was helpful. It was just to show you that you need more than just applying online if you want to get a chance to be seen and heard. If you have any questions, post below. If you have some questions more related to those other skills that you need to develop to get a job in Switzerland, also I'd be curious to have your opinion. Have you activated anything else besides applicant tracking systems and online applications? Have you been successful in that? Always happy to see your results. Thanks.